Hey everyone, this is the Flourish 5. We spend about 5 minutes with founders here on Flourish so you can get to know their brand, get to know their products and their stories. And with me now is Nina Bina. Nina Bean. That's her nickname, y'all. And it's the name of her business, Beads by Bean. Welcome,
Yes,
Nina.
Thank you for having me. I am so excited. I've been waiting to speak with you.
Yeah. So, Nina, I want to start with the fact that you are 10 years in this game. Okay.
Yes.
Hats off to all the new entrepreneurs that started since 2020. Love it. But I also want to tip my hat and pay my respects to a woman who has been in this game for 10 years with your business.
Thank you.
It's not easy. You're still standing and you're still doing great.
Yes, I am still here. And it is strictly God's grace that I'm still here. I mean, even the business, how it started, stemmed from a prayer.
Let's hear it. How did Beads by Bean begin?
So, and I try not to get too emotional when I talk about this, but back in 2010, I was going through it. Yeah. Depression had taken its toll on me, and I got to a point where I felt like if I have to live through this much pain, then living on this side is not for me. And I had planned it out and everything, like how I was going to make my exit. And the one thing that stood with me was, will my son be okay if I'm not here? And so I decided to, honestly, I admitted myself so that I can figure out how to navigate through life in pain, not even so I could be here for me, but how do I need to still be here for my son?
Yeah.
And so I did that. And the night before I came home, because during that time I was there for 2 weeks, and I unpacked a lot.
Yeah.
And the one thing that stood with me is when the therapist said, listen, don't be fooled. You came here and initiated the help. When you go home, those people have not put in the work. So be prepared to stand firm on your boundaries. Be prepared to stand firm on continuing the work, right? So the night that before it was time for me to come home, I prayed and I said, God, I don't think I'm ready to leave here. I don't think I'm ready. But what I ask of you is, I need something that belongs to me. I need something that I can, all this love that I have is being Nina Bean, the daughter, the mother, the granddaughter, the sister, the cousin, the auntie, the coworker, everybody pulls on me, but what about the strong people that don't have anywhere to pull on? What do we do when we're exhausted? And I was just like, God, I need something that belongs to me. It doesn't belong to anybody else. I don't want it attached to a man. That could be another divorce. I don't want it attached to a dog. The dog will die. My trigger has always been grief. I need something that belongs to me. I don't even know if that exists. I don't know what it looks like. But in those moments where I feel like giving up and it's not worth it, I need something to pour all of me into that I can get it back, that's not attached to somebody that will reject me or fail me.
Yeah.
If that even exists, right? So I went home and I fell asleep and I woke up and Basketball Wives was on. And I'm not really into reality TV, but the one thing that stood out is Shawnee.
Yeah.
Was sitting there, and whoever she was talking to, I immediately fixed in on her wrist. And I was just like, everything that they were talking about sounded like wah, 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 wah. I fixed in on her wrist and I said to my son, you see those bracelets? I know you know some little girl that can make those for me. My birthday is Friday. I want to start with 15 or whatever the number it was. I want to start with that many and then I'll just grow.
Yeah.
He reached out to her like 3 times. She didn't call back. So he said, Ma, just go buy them yourself. I was like, I don't want to. I want them custom. I want to make them how I want to make them. The whole week, I was obsessed with getting those bracelets. So the morning of my birthday, February 22nd, 2010, the medicine that they had me on had me frequently going to the restroom. So I woke up, and this time when I woke up and I went to the bathroom, I heard God say no. And I know when he speaks to me because I hear him as clear as you and I are speaking now. So, I peeked in the room. I was like, who is he on the phone with at 4:00 in the morning? Talk about my son. He's laying in the bed mouth wide open, snoring. So I laid down and I just remember smiling like, okay, God. I woke up again. He said, you're going to make them yourself. I said, okay, what am I making? Because mind you, I'm not even connecting the two.
Yeah.
And when I finally woke up, he said, not only are you going to make them, but you're going to sell them. I immediately knew what he was talking about. Within an hour, I had my domain name, my email addresses. I had bookmarked 1,000 bead pages just to get reference. Friend came over. There's a bead store at the end of the street. We went to the end of the street. I bought a few things. I'll never forget, Bonnie showed me how to seal them and do everything. And I made like 5 of them right there. She said, you sure you never done this before? And I was like, no, why you say that? And she said, because when I show people how to do this, beads are just flying all over the store. And I said, no, I've never done it before. I went home. I made about 30 of them. I was so nervous. I showed them to my sister and she said, I sent them to her via text. She said, who made these? These are so cute. I said, I did. She said, no, for real, sissy, who made these? I said, no, I did.
Right.
You should put them on Instagram. What's Instagram? Come to find out, I had the app on my phone. So she walked me through uploading the pictures. One of her friends that she went to high school with reached out to me and said, how much? And I was like, I'm sorry. She said, I want to buy them. How much? The young lady I went to the bead store with, I called her. I said, someone asked me how much. Yeah. She said, I just got off the exit by your house. I still have, and it's packed up because I recently moved, but I still have the yellow legal pad from where we determined the prices. I'm going to frame it. But she reached out to me, and my very first sale, February 22nd is my birthday.
Yeah.
February 29th was my very first sale, $532.19. Wow. She bought all of them.
Oh my God.
And I just went in that moment. I went into praise mode because the number 7 stood out to me as 7 days of completion.
Yeah.
Right. And I have been running ever since. So when I sit down and I create, it's just a reminder of God's grace and him honoring my prayer and honoring my sacrifice and obedience to figure out what was going on and put in the work to stay diligent and focused.
Oh my goodness. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. I love the part where it came naturally to you because God gave you that gift, right? Like you had that since you were born. And so he knew you would need it. So he equipped you to be good at it and to be successful at it. Yeah. This is a whole other conversation, but I just want to appreciate that this story is going to help somebody. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
So now let's talk about the bracelets. Let's talk about these beautiful bracelets. Show us some of your inventory and what's special about your bracelets.
So, well, one, they're all handmade. So this is just one rack that I brought out. So they're all handmade.
Yeah.
They're all natural or genuine gemstones. All of the pieces that I use, I actually pray over them when I start creating. I have gospel music on so I can have God just bring me to peace. And then we turn on our Nuck If You Buck Ratchet music and get to going. But I wanted to show you, this is the special, this is our specialty, right?
Uh-huh.
This here is a bucket or a bin, right? And when I go to the bead store, I'll start with one strand, right?
Yeah.
And out of one strand, I can make about 2 bracelets. So over the last 10 years, this bucket is history of every bead that was left over. So there may be like 3 or 4 that are left over. And I just dump them in the bucket. And my best friend gave the idea of when we were preparing for the Essence Festival in 2016. She said, "Where's the bucket?" And I said, "What bucket?" She said, "The leftover bucket." Because we start running out of product for such a big event. And she just started going in and making stuff and just putting it together. And I said, "What you doing over there?" So what happens is I dig my hand in and I scoop out.
Yeah.
And they come out like this.
They're beautiful.
So anyone that purchases, I call it an organized mess. This is the name of the bracelet because I feel like that's what we all are. We're an organized mess. But anyone, you have 10 years worth of history of Beads by Beam. So these are 10 years worth of leftovers. And when I find it, like I can't come up with, something, to actually, put creativity into it or to make a set. Yeah. I just sit there and pull out the organized mess, and
that's amazing.
That's
even the mess is blessed, okay?
Even the mess is blessed. Yes, ma'am. The mess is blessed.
Well, Nita, thank you so much for allowing God to use you and your story, and you're giving him the glory. And on top of that, just aside from that, for people who don't have faith, okay, but look at the actual product is so beautiful and so creative.
Thank you.
And so you're just talented and gifted. And I want to officially welcome you to Flourish.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you guys for having me. It has been a pleasure.
You stay on your road, man. You stay on your path. Eventually, things will begin to flourish for you.
Flourishing.
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 Flourishing and doing well.